You just bought that $1,200 treadmill. It feels like an absolute massive win. You caught a holiday sale, you got free shipping, you swiped your card, and now it is yours. The dopamine hit is real. But what if I told you that in 5 years, that exact same piece of equipment could actually cost you closer to $5,000 to own? We are currently living through a hidden tax epidemic. Between the painfully rising cost of residential square footage and the multi-billion-dollar boom of the self-storage industry, your physical stuff isn't just taking up space in the background, it is actively eating your wealth, delaying your retirement, and draining your mental bandwidth. You aren't just paying for the item at the cash register, you are paying rent for it to exist in your life. Let's talk about the ghost cost of ownership. You go to a big box store, you see a treadmill on sale for $1,200, or maybe you drop $800 on a massive haul of seasonal camping gear, heavy-duty tents, zero-degree sleeping bags, and portable propane stoves. You buy it, you pack it into the trunk of your car, and you assume the financial transaction is complete, right? Wrong. You just signed a binding, long-term lease agreement with a pile of metal, plastic, and nylon. Right now, the median home price in the United States is hovering roughly around $400,000. And while home prices have completely skyrocketed over the last few years, the actual physical size of the newly built homes we are buying is shrinking. The median home size has dropped down to around 1,792 square feet. Do the math on that. That means you are paying well over $220 for every single square foot of your home. When you bring that treadmill and that heavy camping gear home, they become highly territorial. The treadmill demands about 25 square feet in your spare bedroom. The oversized tent, the coolers, and the folding chairs claim another 10 to 15 square feet of premium garage space. That combined footprint represents over $7,000 of locked-up real estate value inside your own house. Under what financial experts call the everything costs twice principle, you have to stop looking at that equipment as a one-time swipe of your debit card. You have to start viewing it as a long-term tenant that refuses to chip in for the utility bill. Whether you own your house or you lease an apartment, you are effectively subsidizing a luxury hotel stay for inanimate objects. That sounds complicated, but simply put, it means your stuff is charging you a mortgage rent just to sit there. We fixate entirely on the sticker price of an item, completely ignoring the maintenance price. The sticker price is exactly what you pay at the register. The maintenance price is what you pay in space, time, and upkeep over the next decade. Every single object requires maintenance. A $400 gas lawnmower needs fuel, oil changes, spark plugs, blade sharpening, and a new drive belt. Over 10 years, you will easily spend another $400 just keeping that machine alive. A $1,500 laptop needs a battery replacement, expensive cloud storage subscriptions, and repairs. You are paying a maintenance tax that compounds every single year. This brings us to a harsh reality. Every physical item you buy has a purchase price, which is obvious to everyone, but it also has a completely hidden second cost. This includes the storage, the maintenance, the mental overhead, and what Wall Street guys call opportunity cost. That sounds complicated, but simply put, it means what else you could have done with those exact same financial resources. That 25 square feet taken up by the treadmill could have been a home office where you run a profitable side hustle. It could have been an open, empty space that makes your home feel less like a claustrophobic trap. Instead, it is a very expensive shrine to a New Year's resolution from 3 years ago. Your physical space is a highly valuable asset, and every time you fill it with unused junk, you are turning a valuable asset into a financial liability. Over 10 years between the floor space it eats, the occasional maintenance, and the opportunity cost, that $1,200 treadmill actually costs you closer to $5,000. You literally paid for it 4 times over. Now, let's tie this directly into your long-term wealth, specifically through a personal finance concept called Coast FIRE. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. But Coast FIRE is a specific milestone where you have invested enough money early in your career that your portfolio will grow to fully fund your retirement without you ever needing to invest another dime. Once you hit your Coast FIRE member, you just coast. You can take a lower stress job that simply covers your current daily living expenses and you are totally fine. That sounds complicated, but simply put, it means you have bought your future freedom as long as you keep your current lifestyle expenses low. But here is the devastating reality. The everything costs twice rule absolutely destroys your coast fire math. Because every time you buy, store, maintain, and eventually replace massive amounts of physical clutter, you are artificially inflating your baseline living expenses. When your living expenses go up, your coast fire number skyrockets. You are literally working an extra 5 years at a stressful corporate job just to pay the lifetime mortgage rent on your kayak and your camping gear. But wait, you say, I will just put my extra stuff in a storage unit. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Welcome to the self-storage trap. Right now, 1 in 3 Americans is renting a storage unit. Read that again. 1/3 of the entire country has so much physical overflow that our actual houses cannot contain it. We are happily marching down to a windowless concrete building next to the highway and paying roughly $80 to $100 a month for a basic 10 by 10 unit. When items in the house become too problematic to keep tripping over, the common tendency is to just pack them into cardboard boxes and move them to off-site storage. This kicks off the absolute next level of the wealth drain. Let's run the actual numbers on this because the math is absolutely terrifying. The average storage unit costs around $1,200 a year. What is actually inside that unit? Usually, it is old particle board college furniture, heavy boxes of holiday decorations, and maybe some sporting equipment you swear you were going to use next season. The total garage sale value of the items inside the average storage unit is usually less than $1,000. Think about the break-even point here. Within 10 months, you have paid more in monthly storage fees than the items are actually worth on the open market. After 3 years, you have paid over $3,600 to store an $800 couch that smells like an old dorm room. We convince ourselves we were being highly frugal by saving these items for the future. You think, why would I throw out this desk? It cost me $200. But by putting it in a commercial storage unit, you're essentially buying that desk again every 2 months. You're literally paying $1,200 a year to insure garbage. If you took that exact same $100 a month and put it into a basic S&P 500 index fund inside a Roth IRA, you would be building actual generational wealth for your retirement. You would be hitting your coast fire numbers years ahead of schedule. Instead, you are funding the yacht payments of a self-storage CEO. Why do we do this? It's incredibly easy to beat yourself up and think you just lack personal discipline, but this is not a personal failure. It is entirely systemic. Our modern economy is brilliantly designed from the ground up to profit from your overflow. We are caught in a vicious squeeze between the reality of smaller, far more expensive homes and the relentless societal pressure to maintain a massive lifestyle aesthetic. Every commercial on television, every social media feed, every lifestyle influencer is telling you that you desperately need the air fryer, the heavy stand mixer, the kayak, the camping gear, and the seasonal yard inflatables. You are expected to consume at the level of a 1990s mansion owner while living in a 2020s apartment. Corporate America knows exactly what happens next. They know your 1,700 square foot house cannot possibly hold all of this stuff. That is exactly why there are currently 51.1 million square feet of new self-storage facilities in the commercial planning pipeline right now, adding to an existing nationwide footprint of over 2.1 billion square feet. Think about how insane that is. Wall Street developers are pouring billions of dollars into concrete boxes because they are betting against your self-control. They know that once you move your stuff into a unit, you will experience the friction of convenience. It is a massive physical and emotional hassle to rent a truck, spend your precious Saturday moving heavy boxes, and sort through old memories. So you simply don't do it. You just let the $100 auto pay hit your checking account month after month, year after year. You aren't just buying consumer goods anymore. You're buying the infrastructure to support those goods. You are renting out the server space for your physical life. And the self-storage industry is banking entirely on your apathy. They love the fact that you forgot what is even sitting in Unit 4B. But the financial drain is only half the tragedy. Let's talk about the mental overhead. Every single physical item you own requires your attention. Think of your brain exactly like a computer browser. Every time you buy something, you are opening a new tab. When you own a few high-quality items that you use daily, you have 5 tabs open. Your brain runs fast, smooth, and efficiently. But when your garage is packed to the ceiling with boxes, your bedroom closets are overflowing, and you have a storage unit sitting across town, you have 500 tabs open. Every physical item is a background process running in your brain. You have to clean it, organize it, insure it, move it, or worst of all, feel incredibly guilty about not using it. There is actual peer-reviewed science behind this phenomenon. Researchers at Princeton University looked deeply into how physical clutter affects the human brain. They found that a cluttered, crowded environment actively restricts your ability to focus and process information. That sounds complicated, but simply put, it means being surrounded by unused stuff literally makes your brain slower, less productive, and more stressed out. Your visual cortex is completely overwhelmed by junk, diverting precious cognitive energy away from the things you actually want to focus on. You are paying a cognitive tax every single day. Let's actually quantify this. Let's say your time is worth $30 an hour. Between vacuuming around your junk, looking for the car keys you lost in the clutter, checking on expired warranties, and reorganizing your closets for the 5th time, you probably spend at least 4 hours a month managing your overflow. That's $120 a month in pure time value. Over a single year, you are spending nearly $1,500 just serving your possessions. You don't own your stuff. Your stuff owns you. You are working as an unpaid janitor for your own consumerism. That is the hidden time tax, and it completely rivals your monthly utility bills. So how do we break out of this trap? How do we stop bleeding money, delaying our financial independence, and losing mental energy to the ghost cost of ownership? We need a ruthless exit strategy, and it starts with a radical shift in exactly how you view your physical space. First, do a brutal storage audit. If you currently rent a self-storage unit, get in your car and drive over there this weekend. Look at every single item inside that concrete box and ask yourself one simple question. If I didn't own this exact item today, would I go out and pay $1,200 this year to buy it? If the answer is no, sell it on Facebook Marketplace, donate it to a local thrift store, or throw it straight into a dumpster. Cancel the unit on Monday morning. The psychological relief you will feel will be worth 10 times whatever those dusty items were allegedly worth. Second, implement the one-in, one-out rule. This is a strict, non-negotiable physical limit for your home. Treat your house exactly like an exclusive VIP nightclub, and it is currently at maximum capacity. If a new pair of shoes wants to enter, an old pair has to leave. If a new kitchen gadget comes in, an old one gets donated. This completely short-circuits the mindless accumulation phase. It forces you to evaluate whether the new item is actually better than what you already have, stopping the overflow before it starts. Third, master the rent versus buy mental shift. Before you click Add to Cart on a massive power washer you are going to use exactly twice a year, stop. Ask yourself, do I really want to own, store, and maintain this piece of heavy machinery for the next decade, or do I just want a clean driveway today? You don't want the power washer, you want the result. Go to the local hardware store and rent the commercial power washer for $60. When you are done, you give it back. You outsource the bulky storage, you outsource the annoying maintenance, and you outsource the mental overhead. The $60 rental fee is an absolute bargain when you realize you are buying back your garage space and your peace of mind. The real comparison isn't just the dollar amount on the price tag, it is dollars plus hassle. We have been sold a massive generational lie that accumulating more things is the ultimate American dream. We are constantly told that filling a bigger house with more expensive toys is the undeniable scoreboard of success. But the financial and mental math tells a completely different story. The more you buy, the more you are taxed by your own possessions. Your coast fire goals get pushed further away. Your daily stress levels rise. Your house transforms from a sanctuary into a massive storage locker. True wealth isn't a garage so packed with useless junk that you have to leave your actual car out in the driveway to deteriorate in the rain. True freedom isn't having more stuff to manage. It is having the physical space to breathe, the money to aggressively invest in your future, and the mental clarity to focus on what actually matters without paying a monthly fee for the privilege. Look around the room you are sitting in right now. Find just one item you haven't touched in over a year. Sell it or donate it tomorrow. Stop paying mortgage rent to your own clutter and start buying back your freedom.